Hello, you're watching Ellie from Ellymentry Papercrafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. You may have seen my unboxing recently and perhaps my live on Saturday where I featured Wisteria Wishes. It's a stamp set I've had my eye on for a while, but now that I've got it in my hands, I'm just concentrating on this one for a while because there's so many different things you can do with this. And by using different colours, it doesn't necessarily have to be wisteria, as I showed on Saturday when I did this card during my live. So today I am actually going to stick with the wisteria theme, but I'm also going to use the stamps up the other way again to make maybe something that could be lavender or something like that, you know, whatever. So let's get started. So I've got a piece of basic white cardstock which measures 5 1/4 by 7 3/4, and I'm starting by using my old olive and then the stems, which is from here. And I'm not going to start with the stems at the bottom. I'm going to bring them down and then across a bit, so they're starting off the card. So I can just do this quite randomly. Don't have to be exactly next to each other. They can be overlapping here and there. And then I'm going in with a very light second generation and third generation stamping, just to give it a little bit more bulk without actually adding a lot of colour. So then I'm going to use the small leaf, that's this one, and again I'm going to use secondary stamping here to just add in a little bit more greenery in a lighter colour, like so, just a tiny little bit here and there and very light, so it just gives the fullness without too much colour. I'm sticking with the old olive and I'm bringing in this bough here, which is where the wisteria hangs down from. And again, I'm going to start off the edge. I'm doing 1 and 2 stampings just to get this started across the card, just to bring some foliage in. And then I'm going to start bringing in the little prongs as we get to this about halfway along, like so. And then with the small leaf, I'm just going to bring in a couple of extra ones here, just to bring that foliage into the corner there. Then I'm going to use the Highland Heather and the 3 flower stamp, and with that I'm going to stamp these quite randomly because I stamped the stems randomly, so they don't have to line up with anything, just as long as there's some there. And then I'm going to turn it round the other way and do the same again up here. Like so. Then I'm going to use my gorgeous grape, and I'm taking this stamp here, which is just the highlighter, and bits down here. And I'm just going to use it on these bottom flowers. And that really highlights this one. Now, with Wisteria Wishes, you can also purchase the dies that come with the set. And these are really gorgeous. They cut out everything that's stamped, plus a couple of extra ones. So here and here are some large trailing flowers. And if I take some cardstock in the same colours as my ink, the Highland Heather and the Gorgeous Grape, I'm going to cut a couple each of those using my die cut machine. So here they are. So as you can see, it's the same effect as we have here. The Highland Heather and the Gorgeous Grape goes on top. So they're two different cuts. So one covers the other in a similar way to the stamp. So before I stick these on, I'm going to show you what I've previously done to get something ready. This is my card base, and I like to use, I think they call this a book fold. I'm not really quite sure, but it's just, rather than having a tent fold, I like to have this kind of opening. And if I were just to put that on top, it would just be a bit lost. So I've made myself a mat using the Highland Heather cardstock, which I'm going to pop on there. Now, I just used a piece of cardstock which was 1/4 of an inch smaller than this card base, and I just gutted it so that I didn't waste that card, so that when I put this on top, we have that nice frame and it makes it pop from the card. So if I go ahead and put some glue on this, so now I'm just going to glue these two together. I've chosen the greeting which says happiness grows within, and I'm going to stamp that on some basic white cardstock. I've got a tiny piece here, and I will use the Old Olive, I think. Stamps really crisply. It's a very nice font. I like the combination of the two different fonts there. And then I'm just going to back it with some Gorgeous Grape, so we get a little border all the way around like so. So I'll just grab my trimmer. I won't particularly measure this. I'll just go by eye. That's the good thing about the trimmer. You can see exactly where you're cutting through the perspex here to make sure you get the cut exactly where you want it. You can cut off some tiny little slithers, so that's good. There we go. And just cut a tiny bit more off the top there. That's it. I wanted it quite close around the sentiment. So that's, if I do it to just 3/4, I think just under 3/4 should be about right. Yep, that'll do it. Look, just tiny little bit. So I want this one to be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to pop this just down in the right hand corner there, and I'm going to pop this up on some I'm going to say dimensionals, but I've none left and I forgot to order them, so I've just got some old foam pads here. If I use a couple of these, and pop that down at the bottom there. So that's our finished card, and that's quite a basic design using the stamps and a couple of the dies. Next time I'm going to show you almost the same card, but how to step it up using more of the dies to give more of a dynamic look. I hope you've liked this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel. And if you are interested in purchasing any items from the Stampin' Up catalogues, please look below in the description box and you'll see a link to my online store and also links to the current catalogues. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.